Let's address the elephant in the room. What exactly is logistics?
Logistics is the process of planning and executing the efficient transportation and storage of goods from the point of origin to the point of consumption. The goal of logistics is to meet the requirements in a timely, cost-efficient manner. Many companies, including DHL, FedEx, and UPS, are well known in the logistics sector. These businesses own the full range of infrastructure, from jet planes to trucks to sea and software. Suppliers, manufacturers and distributors and retailers have their logistics process to meet the demand for quicker, more convenient deliveries of a variety of goods. The modes of logistics include transportation, inventory, information and control, packaging and unitization, and utilization and materials holding. This includes road vehicle, freight train, cargo shipping and air transports. Without transportation goods, all of us would be unable to get goods from any suppliers. Inventory is a logistics element that is closely related to storage and warehousing. It is concerned with what stock to hold, where the stock is located, and how much stock to hold. The element of control is needed by all elements to act as a trigger to various operational procedures. They are also key in the forecasting of demand and inventory. Packaging and utilization attempts to take all their different sizes and shapes of products and pack them as near as possible into a cuboid shape, since the easiest way to transport goods is in a cuboid shape. Hence why a lot of the packages we receive are in a rectangular shape. The role of utilization of materials is to enable a steady roll of products to be supplied by manufacturers. Manufacturers need to operate at peak efficiency, but consumers tend to demand goods at the same rate as all manufacturers supply them. To combat these, surplus goods are produced by manufacturing units. They are demanded by consumers. Logistics aligns a complex pattern of traffic and transportation, shipping and receiving, importing and export operations and customer service. It is used to manage, coordinate and monitor resources needed to move products in a smooth time, cost-effective way. It is the most important part of the supply chain due to all the planning that goes on. Logistics transportation emits high greenhouse gas emission rates. Transport and road in particular, producing fine particles and polluting the air outside, which is dangerous to humans and the ecosystem. However, manufacturers and different businesses are working on changing this downside. The best way to fix this problem is to optimize routes. Route optimization software can analyze critical logistic issues such as vehicle availability, traffic conditions, and labor availability. Logistics operations can optimize and streamline routes to reduce carbon emissions with automated route planning. The main drivers in the logistics sectors are the customer expectation demand, which is the most important as customers are needed for boosted demand. Growth of e-commerce that has been very successful in providing freight companies and customer operations and fuel the growth of the economy. And finally, globalization is a result of the rapid expansion of companies near worldwide. Different trends that are being harnessed by globalization send the logistics industry will be much more complicated by its rapid growth.
Or what were we talking about? Sorry. A substantial amount of pollution because of factors such as atmospheric conditions, traffic congestion, the category of fuel used, the age and lack of maintenance of vehicles. The harm of road vehicles is reflected by the emissions released into the atmosphere that may have an effect on climate change, dust particles in the air, and noise pollution and the spillage of toxic chemicals on the road that occur during crashes. The quality of air is heavily affected by the quantity of exhaust emissions released into the atmosphere. These gases are a mixture of the harmful fossil fuels that are created during the combustion process in in traditional conventional cars. This is the process that supplies the cars with the energy to move. Road vehicles are the biggest contributors to air pollution, with 20 to 30% of particle matter being released into the air coming from road vehicles. In the European Union alone, the levels of CO2 emissions increased by 26% from the years 1990 to 2005. The transport sector immediately suffered the impact of the Russian invasion on Ukraine, where Russia cut off their supply of fuel and gas to countries within the European Union. These countries were faced with the issue of not having enough gas to supply the transport sector, with roughly 25% of the global energy consumption coming from being utilized to power the transport sector. With the transport sector being the biggest emitter of CO2 and contributing greatly to global warming, policies and measures have been introduced to mitigate this. For example, policies such as reducing the overall cost of maintaining and purchasing an electric vehicle have been reduced as an incentive to get people to buy electric vehicles over conventional combustion engines. Another measure has been improvements to infrastructure, such as affordable and conveniently located charging that can be publicly accessed by anyone, and also a new building rule, meaning that all new houses must have a charging point in the house. The European Union aims to reduce the quantity of emissions released into the atmosphere by road vehicles by 90% by the year 2050. It is expected that there will be over 30 million zero-emission vehicles in the EU by 2030. It is also expected that at least 100 European cities will be climate neutral by this time. DHL expects to invest 7 billion euros on this project to achieve a carbon neutral service. They aim to electrify over 60% of their last mile delivery fleet.
The firm that we have chosen for this assignment is DHL. This time around we were not able to get into a DHL warehouse, unfortunately, the same as last time, but we have come here and we've decided to film outside of it. DHL was founded in 1969 by Robert Dalsey, Adrian Dalsey and Larry Hilbach. They supply over 220 markets worldwide, and they had humble beginnings, as they started by putting couriers on passenger jets, so they could avoid going through customs with the packages. The couriers would get on the passenger jets would go through security as normal. They would fly to a different country, and the couriers would get off with the packages and deliver them to wherever they needed to go. So DHL didn't stay like this for long now. In the 80s and 90s, they innovated hugely with things like fax machines to help send different telegrams to different logistics centres, and they even expanded their air fleet as well. They also went about building a fleet of trucks, bicycles and vans to be able to transport their road freight up and down highways, through cities and wherever they need to go. DHL has 380,000 people employed worldwide, with a couple of thousand here in this warehouse making up a few. And with this workforce, they are able to deliver 1.8 billion packages every year. That's 1,818,000,000 packages every year on average. Sometimes it's more than that, sometimes it is less than that. Employees are put through a rigorous training scheme when they first start to introduce them to all aspects of the company. They'll be introduced. There goes a delivery into the DHL warehouse. Actually, as we speak, Primeline Logistics, it must be one of their partners. They put through a rigorous training program, such as being introduced to their SAP, being introduced to their company policies, and other things like that. An example of just how large DHL is in the world is the fact that they deliver 80% of the products on Oxford Street in London, England, which is England's busiest shopping street and one of Europe's busiest shopping streets as well. They have 2,590 buildings, 1,400 of these being warehouses. Road transport in DHL. DHL has 112,000 trucks, vans and bikes worldwide. 28,500 bicycles alone in Germany, in Berlin. They try to use bikes in big cities instead of trucks and vans to limit the carbon footprint in regards to sustainability. And because of this, they're on the road to achieve their Go Green campaign, which is their pledge to remove any and all non-electric vehicles by 2050. Now, DHL have 5 main services offered. These are DHL Express, DHL Freight, DHL Supply Chain, DHL Global Forwarding and DHL Global Mail. DHL Express is the one that nearly everybody knows. They are the largest air carrier service in the world, and they offer things like next day delivery and tracking, even down to being able to see what condition your package is going to be in when it arrives. DHL Global Forwarding takes advantage of all 4 modes of transport, mainly road and rail, and they don't offer same-day delivery like DHL Express does. However, they do offer up warehouses such as these to other big companies to use as a third-party logistics option to store their goods for them. DHL Freight is the main road transport division of DHL. It's focused all around trucks, from standard articulated lorries to 4-wheelers and other things such as that. And it offers 2 main modes of truck transport: FTL, full truckload, or LTL, less than full truckload. FTL is used by companies transporting a lot of large heavy goods that cause the truck to weigh in excess of over 10,000 pounds. LTL is anywhere from 100 pounds to 10,000 pounds. This form of road transport and these options available are important because it allows a company using DHL Freight to tailor what sort of road transport they want, such as speed, by categories such as speed, weight and time of delivery. The 4th DHL service is DHL Supply Chain, which is the largest third-party logistics provider in the world. They make use of the 1,400 warehouses to allow companies in all different sectors, from the pharmaceutical sector to the automotive sector to the technology sector, to transport their goods all around the world with new innovative services such as automated warehouses, EVs to lessen the carbon footprint, and so on. And the 5th and final service that DHL offer is DHL Global Mail. DHL Global Mail is a mail service offered by DHL to both businesses and normal customers. For businesses, it's deliveries such as B2C, business to customer, which allows businesses to deliver such as Amazon or Argos to deliver products from their warehouses to their final customer. For the normal customer, what DHL Global Mail allows you to do is it allows you to go to any DHL service point. There's a few in Dublin. This is one of their warehouses, but there's a few in Dublin, and you can hand your package into them, and what they'll do is they'll sort it for you, and they will deliver it to the destination that DHL has achieved in the last couple of years. In 2022, in the first quarter alone, they achieved revenue of $24 billion, which is 23.4% more than their revenue in the first quarter of 2021. And from this in the first quarter, they got a profit of $2.3 billion. Which was 9.7% more than the first quarter of 2021. The CEO himself said that they were as solid as a rock in uncertain times. Frank Apple. Volvo and DHL joined forces in 2021 to do a few trials on testing electric trucks to see how stable and reliable they were compared to normal fossil fuel trucks. The trial is taking place right now in Sweden, and it spans over an area of 150 kilometres. The trucks drive from different logistics ports, and things like range, stability of products on board, and the speed of the trucks is measured every single time a delivery is made. And then some of the main competitors of DHL are DPD, FedEx, which there's actually a FedEx truck in the DHL warehouse, so I'm not entirely sure what that's about, UPS, and SNCF. Thank you. And we will go on now to Ernest talking about some commitment to sustainability and DHL in regards to that as well. Where are you going?
No. I'm going to talk about commitment to sustainability. Now, generally speaking, commitment involves minimizing all harmful effects to the environment caused by a company's activities in a specific market. Now, to be committed to sustainability, it recognizes that social, environmental, and economic gains can be enjoyed by all, and the business or the company is the vehicle for all this to happen. Now, to achieve commitment to sustainability, the organizational hierarchy of this kind of business or company must be designed to promote and support sustainability-related goals and objectives. Now, the business model and structure must be aligned to sustainability-related goals, and the metrics must be designed to track and monitor the progress. Involving stakeholders in your sustainable business practices is essential, and collaborating with your suppliers to be able to become more sustainable can be a benefit to the company. Now, environmental sustainability has no detrimental effects on the business potential to make profit, and it can lead to cutting costs and becoming more competitive, as well as increasing profitability. Board commitment to sustainability with an example of DHL. Now, DHL is committed to sustainability and reducing its carbon footprint. It implements this through green logistics and doing things like using fuel-efficient vehicles and energy-efficient warehouses like the one behind me, and plans to expand its portfolio in green products and services. DHL Express has made progress towards environmental-friendly transportation by using clean fuel and cutting-edge technologies that significantly reduce carbon emissions of the company. It encourages recycling and waste reduction by decreasing packaging waste and boosting the use of recycled materials. It has adopted recovery management strategies for e-waste. Now, e-waste stands for electronic waste, and they use this e-waste to recover valuable parts from old electronics, such as old refrigerators or old cars or phones and whatever. And DHL has implemented carbon offsetting scheme, which includes carbon neutral delivery services. For DHL to achieve these sustainability goals, of course, there has to be a few challenges. And some of these challenges would be the need to establish quantitative, time-bound, science-based aims and monitor the progress. Obviously, there has to be financial challenges in investing in
the new infrastructure and processes and technologies that will be a vehicle to sustainability goals. Some employees and stakeholders may be hesitant to accept the changes required for this sustainability. Sustainability initiatives may increase costs and reduce competitiveness in the short term, and as well as regulatory barriers in some countries. DHL is making progress towards sustainability goals by collaboration with investors, investing in new technology and improving. Sustainability initiatives may increase costs and reduce competitiveness in the short term. And finally, collaborating with new stakeholders that are willing to invest in new technologies and processes to support this cause. Some of DHL's future commitments to sustainability. Now, DHL aspires to become the industry leader in green logistics in order to assist their clients in meeting their own climate protection goals. DHL aims to eliminate logistics-related emissions in the effort to support UN's Sustainable Development Agenda and the goal to set by the Paris Climate Conference to limit global warming by 2050. Sustainable transportation options will be adopted locally to improve people's lives by DHL. 70% of their first and last mile services will be eco-friendly. Their green logistics solutions will be used in more than 50% of their sales. 80% of their workforce will be trained and certified as Go Green experts by 2025. And the company intends to plant 1 million trees per year with its shareholders and partners in order to support the cause of sustainability development. That's all. Thank you.